Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. Today we're talking about 8 bridal gown shopping myths. I'm so excited about this video. Before we dive in, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, leave a comment and let me know what you want to hear or see. I am here for you. All right, so let's dive right on in. Myth number 1. You're supposed to cry when you find the dress. As you've seen on TV many times before, the second a bride finds her dress, she's sobbing, she's happy, emotional tears, the whole deal. Yeah, not true. It's not true. It just isn't. So unless you're a person who cries over really big decisions, you're most likely not going to cry over your wedding dress. Or I have the complete opposite happen where I have brides who are not emotional at all and they'll cry over a dress because maybe we added a veil to it or we really just surprised them with the whole vision and they never really imagined it before until it all came together. So they'll have an emotional moment, but that doesn't mean that it's the one. So many brides have an emotional moment, but they don't even end up buying that dress, or other brides do have an emotional moment. I kind of compare buying your dress to buying a car. So if you're not really crying over your car purchase, you're most likely not going to cry over your bridal gown purchase. And the reason why I compare the two is because they're both really big decisions, right? And you have to pick the colors, the specs, and the certain details that you want, that you like. You test them all out. So it's just like trying on dresses is like test driving cars. It's kind of the similar concept. So if you're not going to cry over a car, you're probably not going to cry over your dress. Totally normal, no big deal. It's, honestly, the past 20-ish brides I've had, I've only had 2 brides cry, one of which didn't even end up buying the dress that she cried over. So this is an absolute myth. Please do not wait to cry in a dress. And if you don't cry and you love a dress, that doesn't mean it's not the one. It's not a thing. It's just on TV. It's the stuff that you see on TV and not in real life. It's normal, not everything. Don't compare your experience to others. If you have a friend who has sobbed over her dress or had this big moment, this big dramatic moment, and you didn't, that doesn't mean anything. It just means that was her process and your process is different. And if you do cry over the dress and it's the one, amazing. It's a beautiful experience for everybody, but again, it's an individual experience, so just don't compare other people's decisions to the way in which you make your decisions. If you're a rational person, it's most likely going to be a rational purchase. And not only that, at Lovella, we take you through a process where even if you're very emotional or unclear about the decision, we have a way of really narrowing in on what you want based on your feedback on the dresses that we bring to you. We find you your dream dress. So it doesn't always end up emotional. It's actually a pretty rational and easy to make decision if you have the right stylist and the right people helping you make that decision. Myth number 2, you're supposed to go to every single store and try on hundreds and thousands of dresses. Not hundreds and thousands, but hundreds or thousands of dresses. Yeah, the more you try on, the more confusing it actually becomes. And here's the deal. The way in which each store has dresses, each manufacturer has certain territories, right? So they can't oversaturate a certain territory. So if you are going to a lot of different stores, you're going to be seeing the same stuff over and over and over and over again. There's really not that much variety in the world of bridal that you need to go to 5 or 10 bridal stores. My go-to is if you need to pick 3 top stores at the very most. We're talking 3 stores max. Most brides come to Lovella and they're done. They don't go anywhere else. But if you feel the need to shop and to see other designers, shopping at Lovella is like shopping multiple bridal stores in one. We have so much selection. We get new gowns every single week. So the brides that know us or have had friends who have bought from us, they know just to come to us and they're done. But if you feel the need, you need to have the experience and you want to continue shopping, totally cool. No more than 3 stores. Pick 3 stores that fit your aesthetic, your look, your vibe, have the designers, they're in the price points that you're shopping, and go from there. And also when it comes to price points, be open. Don't just set a budget to set a budget. Be open to see what your dollar buys you. That's really important because you may set an arbitrary number, but not knowing what that number is going to buy you. So definitely explore, see what's out there, and make an educated and knowledgeable decision once you're exposed to what the dollar buys you in bridal gowns. Myth number 3. I have to sleep on it in order for me to have clarity and to make the decision. You do not sleep on this decision. Like, when your fiance asked you to marry him or her, did you go sleep on it and say, I'll get right back to you, I'm going to go sleep on it, I'll tell you tomorrow? Probably not. It's the same thing for your wedding dress. This is not a decision that you sleep on. You make the decision while you're in the dress. Your accessories, you accessorize while you're in the dress. So if you're buying a dress from one store and accessory shopping somewhere else, it just doesn't work out well because you don't have the dress, you don't know if the colors, if the textures, if the design matches. You do everything while you're in the dress. There's no sleeping on a decision. You either do it or you don't do it. So no, this is the biggest myth of them all. You do not sleep on the decision. And if you've worked with me before for your dress, or if you've been with a friend, you know that I preach on this because that is the worst thing you can do. You're gonna go home, you're gonna zoom in, you're gonna overanalyze, you're gonna self-sabotage the decision because what you tried on the sample is not how the dress is going to fit you on wedding day. Therefore, you're zooming in and analyzing something that's not even fair to judge because that's not going to be how your dress fits you. And also, you then disconnect from the feeling of how it felt being in the dress and the joy and the happiness and all of that. It messes with you. The self-sabotage kicks in, the brain does weird things, the zooming in happens. Don't do it. No sleeping on the decision. Myth number 4, when you know and you won't have any buyer's remorse. False. Most brides have buyer's remorse even if you're sure about the decision. It is human nature to doubt yourself, to doubt decisions. Our brains think negatively naturally. It's actually work to think positive and to be happy. It's a lot of work because our brains want to be negative, want to question things, want to doubt things. Totally normal. Every single client I've had has doubted her choices because she's asked someone or she's gone home, she's zoomed in, she's overanalyzed, which is why it is so important to remember how you felt when you were in it and not have buyer's remorse, and not doubt your decision because you will have buyer's remorse. You will doubt the decision. Totally normal. It's okay. When that happens, call your stylist, talk it out, talk it through, come back in, try everything on again. Remember why you committed to it and why you chose it. It's just like relationships. Sometimes we fall in and out of love with things and people all the time. It's normal. Don't panic. Definitely something to expect. It happens all the time. All the time. Another myth number 5, indecisive people take forever to make a decision when saying yes to the dress or yes to any of the things, for accessories, you name it. More failure in life is caused by indecision than anything else you will ever experience. So it's our job as stylists, as I've mentioned in this video and videos before, your stylist is going to help guide you and take the indecision out of it. So the moment that your stylist will ask you, so do we like this dress better or do we like that dress better? A or B, what do you like more? You're going to be able to decide. You're going to say, I like dress A more. You just made a decision. So indecisive people are capable of making decisions if they have the right person guiding them to that. So just take the fact that a lot of people like to use the excuse, oh, I'm so indecisive, I can't make a decision. It drives me absolutely insane because I used to be that person too, until I realized, screw it. I'm going to make the decision. Whatever that decision is, I live with the consequences because living in a state of indecision is actually worse than just moving forward. Go for it. Your wedding's tomorrow. What are you picking? What are you wearing down now? What are you connecting with first? Go with that gut instinct. Don't sit there in the agony of the thoughts and all that. Don't do that to yourself. It's absolute torture. Don't do it. So indecision is a really, really common excuse for I'm scared. I'm scared to make the decision. I'm scared to go for it. I'm scared to move forward with it. So just think clearly. You'll have someone like me that can help guide you through this process and take that indecision equation out of the equation so that you're able to move forward and make a decision. Myth number 6. I can't find the dress I'm looking for, so I'm going to have somebody custom make it for me because I have something in my head and it's not what I'm seeing in store. Here's the deal, and this is how I personally feel. This is a personal opinion on custom dresses being made. This is also from experience. So this isn't just like my own personal opinion as Nayri, but it's also from brides' experiences that has led me to this personal opinion. When you are getting a dress made, or even if you're doing custom changes on a gown, what you mentally envision and what the designer or the manufacturer or whoever is creating the dress envisions can be two totally different things. So oftentimes back in the day when we used to do custom changes and custom dresses, can we make modifications? Yes, but it depends on what it is. Because what we thought as a stylist, what we're doing, what the bride thought and what the designer did were three totally different things. So there's a lot of imagination that goes into it, and what you think you're getting and what you end up with is oftentimes completely different. And I have had more brides disappointed with getting something custom made than just buying a dress that they love the way it's finished. So the goal that you want ideally is to concrete, see, feel, and like the dress that you love. If you're making or buy the dress that you love, if you're making a ton of changes on it, it's not your dress. That's usually my rule of thumb. And talk to anybody who has had a custom dress made. It is not the best experience. I have yet to meet one bride that had a phenomenal experience custom making a dress. Usually it's full of nerves, anxiety, not knowing how it's gonna turn out, and it's just really hard to visualize. So I highly, highly, highly do not recommend doing it. Myth number 7, my posse has to approve of the dress before I can make a decision. Your posse best be in that appointment. They need to be present. Nobody gets a say, and I've said this in videos before, no one gets a say in your dress unless they are part of the journey and part of that process to making the decision. So you are the one wearing it. It really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If you feel beautiful, you get to wear what you want. Don't make the decision based on other people's opinions or what other people want for you. It is all about you, your special day, and what you're marrying your fiancé in. Myth number 8, I need a white wedding dress. So if you've started the dress shopping process, you'll notice that most bridal salons feature dresses in various different colors of blush pinks, champagnes, and warmer tones, not the traditional all white wedding dress. This is intentional because when you take photos of bridal gowns, they photograph much whiter than what you see in person. So the little bit of contrast in color actually allows for the detail of the gown to shine through. Don't pay attention to it being an all white dress or what the name of the color is called. We call what you might consider to be called white. We can call it off-white, ivory, vanilla. There's so many different names that the designer can title a certain color. So don't get fixated on the name of the color and pay attention to what you like on your skin tone and what photographs great. So a lot of times you will see that there will be a darker undertone and a lighter lace or detail on top. That's intended and intentional for that to come through in the photo. Now what you could always do is ask your stylist to put a lighter color underneath the detail so that you're able to see why that designer has chosen the color in which you're looking at the gown in. Don't get fixated on the title of what they're called. Pay attention to what you see in person, what you like on your body, what looks good in photos, and keep in mind your professional photos are a little bit lighter than what you're going to see on your phone camera. So your camera will do a little bit more of a real effect in person, but it's nice to see it. But if you do with a flash, it's going to be even brighter. So compare with flash, without flash to really understand how it's going to photograph differently and how it will look in different lightings. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought about all these bridal myths. It's so much fun to talk about, and I love being a myth buster on this and breaking everything down. Comment below, like, and subscribe for more.